Good afternoon and welcome back. If you're just tuning in right now, this is the touchline on Y254. My name is Maxwell Wasiko. Speaking matters sporting disciplines across the board. Several happenings are underway. Inter-university games currently underway at the University of Nairobi. Osoro Robert has been pitching camp at the Nyayo National Stadium, where the finals of the world's strongest man alongside junior NBA finals are happening, and we're going to be linking up with him in a few to keep us posted with regards to the proceedings of the same. Remember, this particular evening as well, Chelsea Football Club locking horns against Liverpool. They played during midweek in Carabao Cup, with Chelsea beating the AIC rivals 2-1, and Liverpool probably will be seeking for a revenge. At 2:30 p.m, Manchester United, despite their predicaments, will be seeking probably to pull a surprise against West Ham. A friend of mine has been telling me that in the past, while United was playing teams like West Ham, Aston Villa, Newcastle United under Sir Alex Ferguson, they were treated as minnows. But nowadays, Man United is beatable even by Gor Mahia Football Club. Don't hurl stones at me. I'm just kidding. 22162 starting with the word touch. Talk to us. So what's happening in your neighborhood as far as matters sports in the country is concerned? Of course, you know I'm a Nottingham Forest, two-time UEFA Champions League winner. But right about now, we're going to speak about the state of amputee football in the country. And joining me right now are people who've been actively involving themselves as far as the sport is concerned. They are currently preparing for the Amputee World Championship that will be taking place in Mexico in a few days from now as you speak, actually next month. And joining me, Peter Olo, Secretary General of Amputee Federation. Peter, good to have you on board. How are you doing, bro?
Thank you so much.
Dalmas, a man who's done exceptionally well as far as playing on the pitch is concerned, is at the middle. Dalmas, good to have you, bro. What's up?
I'm good, thank you.
You're all right. Then Paul Kapmbuya, wearing many hats. He's the treasurer for the federation and he's a player as well. Paul Kap, how are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
We start speaking about the administrative and management aspect of amputee football. How is the progress so far?
Okay, I can say the progress is not all that bad as of now, because just like I said earlier, the government is really in it. Because to start with, the CS himself wrote us a letter something like 4 months ago to help us solicit money through the corporate bodies and well-wishers. So the response has not been all that bad. And again, there's still some other challenges, but we'll talk about that if that breaches.
And in terms of popularizing the sport, I know it's a sport that is been picking up, but you know, not in the knowledge of public domain at Mashinani. Yeah. In terms of making it known to the locals, like even where I come from in Mumias, the people knowing it and feeling it, what are you doing?
Yeah, okay. I think that is the next step we are looking into, because we should be engaging the county guys, the sports, the chief officers from the every county level, so that they can as well embrace the sport. So that's our next move. After we have done the World Cup, then we'll be engaging each and every governor through their sports officers, so that we can as well engage and also have the amputee football as one of their sports discipline while they are doing their normal sports in every country.
Dalmas, I've watched you several times, you know, on the pitch, and I have to say, massive talent, great potential. What has been the secret?
Hard work, consistency, and I mean, just believing in myself. That's a secret.
What will you tell a player outside there who's been passionate about the sport and probably has been shy of joining it?
Well, we are a big family. First of all, we are friends before we are players, and we welcome each and every person who thinks they qualify to play the game. If you are an amputee or you have any physical deformity, you're welcome to join the team anytime. And it begins from somewhere. You have to have the passion and the vision and mission. And slowly you will get to where probably I am, or even other great players are. So it's just you and, you know, come to the pitch, and then we will see where we can get you.
Polycarp.
Yes.
Of course, right now we're speaking about the preparation so far ahead of the championship that is slated for Mexico in a few days from now. Speak. Is the team ready?
Actually, we are ready like yesterday.
Are you not optimistic?
That's what I can say so far, because at least as a federation official, we have done our part. In that, at least we went in Buhungu. That was last month.
Yes.
We did that national trial, with or without money, with or without any support from all stakeholders. It was only at least fellow friends, well wisher 2 or 3. We did it. We have the team. Currently, we narrowed the team from. We picked 24, the one that was to be in the camp. But because of the funds, financially, we are not stable. It has forced us to drop the team from the 24 to exactly 15. That is in total the team that is the team that will be traveling to Mexico. So we are ready, because I believe that at least all these teams, all these players we picked, they came from various clubs. They have been training at the club level. So I mean, we are ready. The teams are ready. What I want to say as a treasurer, I want to echo what just a friend has said, fellow colleague who left, Mr. Tyrus, that at least the first stakeholders should be the Minister of Sports. And that will bring that goodwill from the corporate, as he put it, so that at least we get that first goodwill. Because the tendency, and it's not only Amputee Football Federation complaining, it cut across. All federations are complaining. Like recently, the Minister of Sport had been arranging some stakeholders meeting, which was supposed to happen last week. It was supposed to happen on, this week at Kasarani. And the preparation was not to that expectation, and forced them to cancel the meeting because there were a lot of speculations, the arrangement, the consultation. So I think ministry needs to come down to the real stakeholders. Not that at least they are main federations, and meaning that there are other federations who are not main. All federations are equal to the task, because all federations go to the same level of elections, elected by delegates, and at the end of it, they deliver. So again, the system in the ministry is also slow, in that at least as a federation, we need to be knowing the budget, and to know the total finance that is allocated to each and every in advance. So at least all these funds should be in the account in advance for the preparation. As we speak now, as a federation of Amputee Football, we don't have even a single cent in the account. And we are saying we are only remaining with 2 weeks to go. The world body, all games sanctioned by the world body, there are procedures that at least their participation fee, you need to pay on such a date, their entries, there are all these things, their visas process, all those progress. So early preparation is very important to the performance of the team.
Peter, that brings us to the issue of funding from the government. Of course, there have been a myriad of complaints from other federations who think that probably there's no same level playing ground in terms of funding, in terms of being given, an attention from the government through Ministry of Sports. From where you sit, do you think the government through ministry has played its role, has done its part to ensure that, funding is equal across the board?
Okay, to me, I can say that the funding is not all that equal across the board, because just like you're saying, we are playing amputee football.
Yes.
It is like any other football. The difference is that we are disabled and the others are, I can say, they are able in quotes. Maybe they are mentally handicapped somehow, but okay, they are able football, and we are the disabled football. We are playing the same football.
Yes.
The same pitch, even though ours is a little bit smaller. You find that the Harambee Stars might be going to maybe for an event maybe outside the country. For example, they'll be given like $20 per DM, but with that you will be given $60 per DM. How? This is a very big discrepancy between the able body and the disabled body. So it's really demoralizing even the players, because most of our players, I can say most of them are not working, despite the fact that we have maybe 4 international players. The remaining ones are hawkers. You can imagine a disabled person waking up to go and train, to go and play Amputee football, to go and represent the country, to go and fly the Kenya flag high, maybe 1,000 miles away, and in the long run, he's not recognized. You can imagine that. And those who are maybe given first priority are doing nothing. They've never been to the World Cup since I was born. You can imagine, this is our second time going for the World Cup, and even to make matters worse, even I can say nobody knows about this. We went to Mexico, we were given the tickets at the last hour. We went without even uniforms last time. It was pathetic. We were given the uniform from the governor of Sinaloa state. You can imagine. Yet we have uniforms everywhere in Kenya. There are able-bodied Kenyans who can actually sponsor the team. Our budget as of now was only 14 million. You can imagine the Harambee Stars. I'm saying Harambee Stars because they're all playing football. That's like us. Their budget maybe to go and play friendly is like maybe 80 million, and they're given without a hit. And without 14 million, it is cut maybe to even 4 million. You can imagine. And these people are really struggling. In fact, if it is 200 per diem, per dollar per person, then for us it should be 400, because it should be doubled. For them to realize that they are really guys who are maybe making use of their talent and despite their disability. So it's really demoralizing.
Dalmas, I know there have been other previous championships before, and now you're preparing for the Mexicon one. Do you think you have much exposure, and you know all the players won't be suffering probably from you know, fright when they are taking part in that international event that has attracted other teams, heavyweights who've confirmed participation? How is the situation, and do you think the previous competitions will be a build up positively towards Mexican event?
I think, yeah, the team right now is a bit confident than we were before. Even myself, before the championship, I mean before the trials, I was a bit skeptical about how the team is going to perform, how the quality of the players. But after the trials in Kakamega, I think I saw a few more players that I never saw before, who I think can gel very well with the likes of Munga, myself, and other veteran players in the team. So I think this time we have a very big chance. We are playing against Turkey, which is a world champion team.
Yes.
They're the European champions. I've played there in Turkey for the last 4 seasons, so I know most of the players. I've played with them, I've played against them. I think we have a big chance this time. And I think we should be able to qualify from the group to the next round without any hitches. I think the team is good now. We have young players, we have 3 other international players in the team. So I think we are going to bring surprises home.
You are an international star, and you're going to agree with me. Of course, we will read from the same script that we have massive talent locally. Probably what has been the main stumbling block from Kenyan, you know, talents going overseas to feature for professional amputee football?
The biggest stumbling block is the support locally, because I think we are kind of by ourselves. When I first went to Turkey to play professionally, it was because of a Turkish national that saw that Dalmas has a talent, and he took me to Turkey. So I also have been trying to, you know, bring other players from here. But what has the government been doing? Are they trying to build these skills? Are they providing resources for the players to train? That is lacking. So I think if the government can, through the Ministry of Sports, can embrace this sport fully, and you know, give us all the equipment, all the facilities we need, we might have the whole of our national team playing abroad. I'll give you an example of the Ghanaian team. All of them play in Turkey.
Sure.
A whole 13 players. They all play in Turkey. I think we should also be in that level.
So in terms of amputee football, can we say that Turkey is the giant of that sport, is one of the heavyweights?
Well, Turkey is definitely one of the heavyweights, because it has it's the only country with the best competitive league in the world. Even Russia is it's a giant, but even the players are coming now to play in Turkey. We don't have any Turkish players playing anywhere else. They all play at home. So Turkey is the best and the most competitive league in the amputee football. We have three leagues. We have Super League, Division 1 and Division 2. That's a whole of 30 teams, 30 clubs. And no other country has such a magnitude of teams. England has a league.
Yes.
Man City has a team. Everton, I think Bournemouth, but they don't have a competitive league. They do like friendly matches. So Turkey is the superpower in the amputee football at the moment.
Wow, that's nice to hear. But now, Polycarp, from the treasury perspective, you've talked about the funding and how you've had difficulties in terms of, you know, suffering from financial constraints. But with the little you have you managed to take good care of it? Because probably the government can give an excuse, and not only the government alone, other stakeholders can give an excuse of, you know, lack of transparency in our federations, the available funds. Is it put well into use?
Thank you very much, Osike. I think this is the second time I might touch or some money will reach to me as a treasurer. 2014, we had some little funds we got from the well-wishers, that from charity sweepstake, and in fact it was only charity sweepstake that came in on board. The little they gave us, actually we were not paid, we were not in the residential camp also by then. At the same time, we were not paid local allowance. It was the money that at least we sat with the executive, then so it was wise, at least since the players trained a long time in the non-residential, so we paid them for the local training. The remaining amount, at the same time as the Secretary General said, that we were not having any uniform. So we saw it was wise at least to brand the team. We also bought some tracksuits at the same time. So I want to say that at least we, in terms of accountability, disability sports federations, we are very accountable to the little we get from all well-wishers. Currently, I want to thank the first time corporate that has come on board, that is Parkland Sports Club, whom we just approached last week in the case of giving us a training court. Immediately we went to them, the reception was so nice, and within a week the result was at least, okay, Polycarp, look, we have given you the training field, free of charge. As from Monday, all teams will report to the training camp as from Monday. So that's a plus. And we will make use of that field as needed. So I want to appeal to all well-wishers that at least the time is still there. Come and support the team in kind. What we are now lacking, that at least the government has withdrew their support again to support the team at the residential camp. This is the second time you're not going to be supported at the residential. We're not going to be in the residential camp. It is still the same, non-residential. So we need all well-wishers to come on board. Just imagine a national team training, going back, amputee players home and away. So we need all well-wishers to come on board. We need lunch, refreshment, kit, special kit. We need crutches. We need more balls, because these are team sports. For a player to perform, I think each and every player needs his own item, like a ball, that will make a performance and the outcome to be so nice at the end of it. And we can't say that at least we want to support the team overseas and we can't prepare team locally. Then at the end of it, they can't wait the result. That one we are lying. We need to support the team from the grassroots level, from the local level. We can't assess Kasarani, and those are the public utilities. It takes a lot of time to approve things, but it is so easy to reach to the privates in this country. So quick. So we want to tell the government that, look, we are waiting the meeting that you will be calling. Let's talk with the stakeholders. Let's put everything on board so that at least we treat each and every sport equally. And at the end of the result, we will deliver as a federation. Thank you.
At the end of the result, you will deliver. That's a good statement. But now, Peter, ranking in our federations has also been a factor that undermine the growth and development of these sporting disciplines. From where you sit as a Secretary General of the federation, have you suffered from ranking and leadership disputes, and people trying to take over, people trying to want to be in leadership positions through even backdoors?
I can say sports wrangling is everywhere, but with us, I think our house is in order at the moment, because despite the fact that we cannot avoid wrangling, and I think that one is very healthy for the federation. Maybe
It's democracy.
It's everyone's right to maybe to pinpoint maybe where everything is not going right. So that one is well taken care of. And again, I can say for people to be having wrangling, maybe they're differing in ideas, but not that there's something much bigger than that. But on the other hand, with the disabled sports, I can say most of them are now up to date with whatever they're doing. And again, it has really made their sports to be much recognized than even the normal sports. I can say this because you can find that during the Olympic Games or maybe Commonwealth Games, the people who will be having more medals are the people with disability on the long run. And on the other part, how they are being trained or how they are taking their training, nobody's taking care of that. And this so-called able-bodied, their training is well taken care of, even by the sponsors themselves. They see that it is the able-bodied who can as well deliver. But in the long run, if you look at the medal numbering, then it will be from the disabled sports. So people should really change their perception towards the sports for people with disability. Yeah.
Delmas, you are on national television 2 weeks before the Mexican Championship, and you've told me that it has attracted heavyweight Turkey, being one of them, where you play professional amputee football. What are the expectations, and what are you promising Kenyans?
I can promise Kenyans that this team that's going to the Mexico World Cup this year is going to perform much better than the 2014 World Cup. We are going to do our very best. I mean, we have struggled with funding, with equipment. We want to put all that behind us, you know. It's not for us to, you know, go looking for these things. It's for the federation to do these things. For us, when we get to the pitch, it's me and the ball, listening to the coach and scoring the goals. So we are going to do our best to qualify to the next round and take it step by step. If we qualify for the second round, we should go to the quarterfinals. And at the end of it, I think we should come home with the World Trophy.
And this is a milestone because we've not seen most of the Kenyan teams participating in World Cup championships. Even our football team, the only major event they have participated in is African Cup of Nations several years down the line in 2004. But now, when we speak about football with now several categories, football for abled and football for disabled amputee, that is, at least you're going to the World Cup. That's good for the country, right?
Yeah, because I mean, look at it. We have Harambee Stars for how many years now? So many years. It has never qualified for a World Cup. I mean, even in the group stages, they don't even go far. This is a disabled football team, an amputee team. This is the second World Cup they're going into, and it's consecutive World Cup. That only in itself is a massive achievement. Just qualifying. How many? I mean, Netherlands has a team. Belgium, they have a team. Algeria, Sierra Leone, they're not in the World Cup. Kenya is in the World Cup for the second time. I mean, if we get a lot of support or enough support way before, equipment-wise, a field, we get. I mean, we want to train every day. In Turkey, we train every day. We play a league for 8 months. That should be emulated here. If we get our local players into the level of the professional players, we should be able to beat each and every team in this world, because we are physically fit. We are physically strong. The Turkey guys are a bit weak. Even, you know, the Americans, and we should be able to beat them. So I think if we get support early enough, we get equipment early enough, we should be able to bring the cup home.
Polycarp, yes. As we wind up, in terms of your parting shot, I'm just staring at the list of 15 man squad as far as Kenyan delegation is concerned. I've seen your name at number 6. Which position will you be playing?
Thank you. Actually, I'm good in midfield. and I'm like a utility player.
Yes.
I always go in front, then come back as a midfield, a utility player. So I'm good both in midfield, defensive, striking. Yeah, at the same time.
So you flexible and versatile. You can play either position.
In any. I'm good. I remember last time when we featured in the last World Cup, that was 2014.
Yes.
We played with Colombia. The game was tough, and what I did was awesome, because at least on that day we scored 4-0 to Colombia. I used to play in then defensive, so I did my best at the at the defensive level.
So how do you manage multitasking? You are a treasurer for the federation and you are player as well. How do you manage, trying to appeal for financial funding from corporates, from well-wishers, from stakeholders, and even playing, sparkling on the pitch?
Thank you very much. Actually, I was given that mandate by the people, so I have to deliver. When it comes to the official, I do official part of it. When it comes to game, I normally don't just sit back that I'm official. I train for fitness. At the same time, I perform in the field. So at the end of it, I'm there. I can, if I fail to be in the official list, I'll be.
Bottom line, you have to feature somewhere.
So I have to feature somewhere. Not that there is a favor, but at least I'll be in the field from the trial level to the competition level.
So in a nutshell, what you are trying to say that the 15-man squad got merit, and they will be representing the country on merits, no favorism, no biased selection.
Actually, it was done on a merit, because for the first time we are carrying like 18 new players, new blood. I mean,
yes,
the best, young, who still have energy, energetic. We are going. Like maybe I might play. This might be my last game featured in the last event. So we are building up more players as a federation, and that is going forward. 2019, forward from 2019. That's what we. If we come back, we want to make sure that at least we get the structure right, and this is the plan. Let me come back to the office now. We, as a federation, we have laid a plan that is starting on 5th. We have organized a breakfast meeting just to do a small fundraising for the team there at Hilton. We have booked the place.
When is that?
On Friday. That is on 5th. So that at least whatever we'll collect on Friday, we'll cater for the team at the local preparation. So at least they can get transport, they can get lunch, refreshments, kits, crutches. This is the most expensive team. So looking forward, starting on Monday, we will knock your door, so that at least please come and support us. Invitation will start running out from Monday to reach all well-wishers. Come, we'll be there. We have booked Hilton just to do a support. Whatever you'll bring for us, we'll appreciate it. It will start in the morning from 8 to 10 there at Hilton. And the partnership, we also want to thank whoever we approached. That was a women representative who represent persons living with disability. That is Honorable Denita Gatti. We approached her, and she is the one who accepted to arrange for us that breakfast meeting in partnership with Africa to Africa. That's an NGO organization. So hopefully we need more people to come on board to support us. And what I want to tell leaders, let me start with all those who represent us in the parliament, both lower and the upper parliament. You have to show first interest as our leader who represent us in the parliament before other people come on board. So we want to invite you, come on board. You are so many, the like of Sankok. We know very well, at least you love people with disability. Now we need you.
Have you contacted Tim Wanyonyi, Westlands Member of Parliament? He's been also passionate about football.
Actually, he's passionate, but we approached him personally with the Secretary General last week but one. But what I can say that at least the reception was not so good. I think people with I don't want to say it publicly, but the reception was not so good. But we know that at least Tim Wanyonyi loves sports. We still want to approach him as a friend, as a leader, because we know that at least when we approach him, I hope he will be there on field with us. We are going to approach him. He's a good leader anyway.
Hopefully, let's look forward to his showing up. Always a pleasure speaking to you. All the best in your undertakings.
Thank you
Success
very much. Thank you.
during the upcoming World Cup in Mexico. Of course, we've been speaking about the state for amputee football in the country, and joining me are people, the trio that has always been actively involved in the sport. Peter Olo, Secretary General of Kenya Amputee Football Federation. Dalmas Otieno, an international star playing professional amputee in Turkey, and will be featuring for his country, the Amputee Stars, the national team, alongside Polkap Boy, adorning many hats, treasurer for the federation, and he tells me that he's also a utility player, but I doubt his abilities. Always a pleasure doing this. This is the Touchline on Y254. My name is Maxwell Wasike. Coming up next, the fan zone, the fan favorite segment, where we'll be discussing international football, but Man United has to be the subject. If you're a Man United fan outside there, I know you're not happy with me, because I'm gonna rant about your team and how you've been performing. Man United manager Jose Mourinho and Man United midfield Paul Pogba having feuds, never-ending rankles. But just before that, we're gonna be watching the repeat, the highlights of what happened last Saturday, the fight between Anthony Joshua and Alexander Povetkin. Something that was quite an interesting to watch, but the Russian being eliminated during the 7th round. Don't go away, stay tuned. Shall be right back.